Silence. Wind pushing through a broken window, rattling wood. Hooves fading down the ridge road, distant, leaving dust that hangs in the night. The rancher steps into his barn, boots grinding straw, each step heavy, measured. He halts. A shape in the shadows, collapsed against the stall boards. A woman, her dress shredded, face swollen, bruised, breath shallow, ribs stuttering under skin. Her hand pressed hard against her side, clutching a torn cloth dark with blood. He kneels. At tips forward. His voice never comes, but his eyes search hers. She stirs, a whisper like cracked glass. Don't! Take the cloth off. His hands freeze mid-air, hovering, jaw clenched, eyes burning.
He knows this.
He's seen it before. A flash, canyon night, gunfire, another body broken, cloth hiding a wound. His brother's voice whispering the same plea. His hand gripping his knee now, stopping the tremor. No words. No questions. Just action. He bends, sliding arms beneath her. She's light, too light. He lifts slow, steady. Blood smears across his shirt as her head lolls against his chest. He carries her across the threshold, lantern glow spilling warm across rough beams. He lays her on the table, careful, cloth still pressed tight against her side. For a moment, he hesitates. Breath slow, shoulders locked. Then he does it, the thing she begged him not to. Fingers pry the soaked cloth away. His face shifts. Eyes widen. His breath stutters, catches. He looks down at what's revealed, unseen to us, but it shakes him to his core. The lantern flickers once. Shadows bend long. The silence grows heavier. Inside, secrets wait on the rancher's table. Lantern lit. Flame sputters, glow crawling across timber walls. Its light brushes his arms, old burns, half-healed cuts, scars written like a ledger. He wipes sweat from his brow, steadying the tremor in his hand. From a wooden chest he draws supplies, bottle of whiskey, needle, coarse thread. Tools of survival, not mercy. He leans close, presses fresh cloth to her ribs. Blood seeps fast. Her eyes roll back, breath hitching, half-conscious. Lips twitch, and words escape in fragments. Names. A banker. A gang, the Red Valley Riders. His jaw tightens. He knows them. He's heard the ruin they leave behind. Her broken whisper rasps into the lamplight. He'll be back. He always comes back. He doesn't answer. He doesn't ask. Silence is his oath. Needle pierces flesh. Thread pulls skin. Her scream stifled, biting her sleeve until teeth leave marks. He pours whiskey into a tin, sets it by her hand. She grips the edge. Knuckles white. She doesn't drink. Pain sits deeper than liquor can drown. The stitch pulls. Steady rhythm, and memory bleeds through. The sound of hooves in a canyon. Gunfire echoing stone. A younger self, hauling his brother against his chest. Cloth pressed to a wound that would not close. A last whisper. Don't take the cloth off. His brother's eyes fading as he ignored it. Blood flooding. Breath gone. Lantern sways on its hook. Shadows bending long across the walls. His hand knots the final thread. His jaw locked. He saves this woman because he could not save his brother. But the past never stays buried in silence. Night thickens. Cold air bites, each breath leaving fog that drifts off the porch. The rancher sits heavy in his chair, boots planted, shotgun across his lap. His gaze fixed on the ridgeline, where dark meets darker. Shadows bend and memory stirs. 10 years peel back. Canyon walls rising like stone coffins, smoke choking lungs, echoes of rifles. His brother on the ground, cloth pressed to a chest wound that pumped red between his fingers. The young rancher kneeling, cursing, begging, promising help. He pulled the cloth, desperate. Blood spilled like a flood, his brother's eyes fading fast. Final breath rasped, "You never listen." Then silence, heavier than gunfire. Back to the porch. Chair creaks as he rocks once, slow, measured. His scars burn under lantern glow, each one a tally of that night. Ledger of guilt carved into flesh. Forgiveness never came. Inside she stirs. Fever dreams muttering into rafters. Voice thin but sharp. The banker takes everything. He buys pain. He owns the riders. Words tumble, names, debts, land stripped bare. Each syllable another weight on his chest. He rises from the chair, steps to the window. Lantern light cuts across his face, fists clenched tight against the sill. He knows that banker, sat across from him once, hat in hand, begging for mercy on his father's land. Denied. A cruel smile stamped across polished teeth. That moment birthed his exile, carved his silence. Shutters rattle. Wind pushes through the cracks. A coyote wails from the far hills, sharp and lonesome. The sound drifts into his bones, he knows. The past hasn't stayed buried. It's ridden back, straight into his yard. Dawn will bring more than hoofbeats on the ridge road. Hoofbeats strike hard earth, steady as drums. Dawn creeps thin across the ridge, light catching dust plumes rising behind 4 riders. Red scarves tied at their throats, faces split with smug grins. The rancher sees them from his porch. He doesn't stir, doesn't blink. He waits. They ride closer, slow and sure. One swings down, spits dark into the dirt. His voice cuts the quiet. Banker says you're harboring something ain't yours. The rancher says nothing. Silence sharper than any blade. Inside, the woman jolts awake. The sound of hooves still echoing in her chest. She hears the voices. Panic coils tight. She drags herself from the table to the floor, whispering ragged, "He found me." Her hand shakes as it crawls toward the shotgun propped beneath the window frame. Fingers hover, trembling, not yet strong enough. Outside, the lead rider saunters forward. Boots scuff the porch step. He leans against a post, feigning ease. But his eyes, restless, scanning, predatory. He lets a grin cut through his words. "You know how this goes. We come back, or we don't." The rancher rises. Slow, deliberate. Chair creaks under the shift. His shadow stretches long in the dawn light. He steps to the edge of the porch. His voice, heavy as iron, breaks silence for the first time. "You'll come back. Not threat. Prophecy." The riders laugh, but unease cracks the sound. They mount up, horses pawing earth, dust rising thick. As they turn, one glances back, eyes locked, stare lingering a moment too long. Promise carried without words, the rancher stands until the dust fades into horizon. Only then does he step inside, hand gripping the table edge, knuckles pale. Breath shallow. He knows they'll return. Not just riders. Banker's shadow itself. Storm clouds gather now at the tree line. Leather creaks as straps pull tight. Saddle cinched with finality. The rancher's hand rests on the worn horn a moment longer, then he swings up. Hooves strike gravel as he rides toward town, sky already dimming. From the table, her voice follows, faint, breaking. He owns everyone. "You can't fight money." She clutches her side, eyes wet. He doesn't look back. He doesn't answer. Only the sound of hooves carries his reply. Town sits hollow. Doors half shut, hinges groaning. Curtains twitch, then still. Faces vanish before they're seen. Fear has choked the streets silent. He ties his horse at the saloon rail, steps through the swinging doors. Inside, dust drifts. Piano sits mute, keys untouched. Eyes track him, then fall away. He doesn't ask, doesn't explain. He sets a hand on the counter, voice low. Coffee. Bitter, black. An old friend edges near, voice a whisper swallowed by smoke. "Don't do this." Banks got the sheriff, got the judge, got all of us. The rancher lifts the cup. Heat stings lips, tongue. He swallows, winces, sets it down hard. Wood rattles. The room itself flinches. No words follow. Silence heavier than gunfire. On the trail back, clouds gather thick. Lightning rips white above the tree line. Thunder rolls deep, slow. The storm stalks closer with every mile. His hand slides down, touching the shotgun slung across his saddle. Not weather, warning, omen. At the ranch, she waits at the window, her reflection thin in the glass. Whisper, almost prayer. He's going to die for me. The storm breaks in gunfire on the ridge road. Rain pounds earth black. Night alive with water and thunder. Lightning tears jagged across the sky. Hooves hammer the ridge road, 6 riders this time. Red scarves snapping, rifles raised high. They spread wide, circling like wolves. On the porch, the rancher waits. Shotgun laid across his lap. Chair rocks once, slow. Then still, he rises. Shoulders square. No words, no questions. Just action. First crack splits the storm. Glass bursts. Window gone. Her scream cuts through rain. He fires back. Shotgun blast flares white. A rider topples, body thrown, horse crashing into mud. Chaos ignites. Bullets shred wood. Porch splinters rain down. He ducks behind a post, breath steady. every move measured, deliberate. Each trigger pull an answer. Flashbacks, strobe, his brother's gasp, canyon walls red with blood. But this night, he swears, he won't lose. A rider charges through sheets of rain, pistol flashing. The rancher steps forward, fire at point blank. Thunder eats the scream. Horse rears, man falls, swallowed by mud. Inside, she crawls, dragging broken ribs across the floor. Fingers clutch the shotgun left by the window. Breath ragged, face pale. She lifts. Door crashes wide. A rider lunges in. She fires. Blast rocks the rafters. He collapses in the doorway. She slumps after, spent, but breathing. Outside, the fight breaks. 2 dead in the yard, rain washing blood into trenches. The rest scatter, leader turning last. Scarred face gleams under lightning. He spits fury through storm. This ain't over. Banker owns you. His shout fades under pounding hooves. Rain falls heavier. Silence returns in pieces. The rancher lowers his shotgun, chest heaving. Blood stains his sleeve, wound shallow but burning. He turns toward her. She meets his eyes, no words. Silent vow. Bound by storm, by blood, by survival. Dawn will reveal what the storm left behind. Dawn bleeds gray across the ridge. The storm is gone, but its breath lingers. Mud churned, smoke clinging to wet air. The yard reeks of gunpowder, sweat, blood. 2 bodies lie cold where the rain left them. On the porch, the rancher strips cloth from his sleeve. Whiskey hisses against the wound. He grits his teeth, jaw iron. She's there beside him, hands trembling as they press against his shoulder. Shaking, yes, but steady. For the first time, she doesn't hide behind whispers. They move without speaking. Shovels bite earth behind the barn. Mud sticks to boots, to knees. No markers, no prayers, just silence and soil. When the last mound is patted flat, she kneels. From her pocket, a shred of red scarf. Torn, stained. She sets it on the grave. Wind takes it, scattering it toward the tree line. Inside, the quiet holds. She eats bread, slow and deliberate, chewing like each bite is a choice. Healing isn't loud. It isn't a shout or a charge. It's breath. It's heartbeat. It's the refusal to vanish. I thought I'd never see morning, she murmurs, voice almost too soft to catch. He sits across from her, coffee cooling black in his cup. He watches the horizon beyond the window, wide, empty, waiting. This isn't peace. He knows that. It's pause. Nothing more. And pauses never last. The banker will feel the weight of this dawn. Weeks slip by. Scars knit slow, but they hold. She rides beside him now, mending fence lines, wind cool on prairie skin. Hooves beat steady rhythm. Life returns piece by piece, though shadows ride close behind. In town, voices carry in half whispers. The banker's wrath hasn't died. The riders gather again, red scarves pulled tight. Their scarred leader breathes still. Ledger pages wait, ink fresh, debts unpaid. Evening settles. The rancher sits on his porch, shotgun balanced across his lap. His gaze fixes on the ridge where sky bruises into night. She sits near, needles clicking, yarn pulling through quiet hands. A strange peace, fragile as glass. At last his voice breaks the hush. Low, gravel deep, it never ends. Not really. She looks up, meets his eyes. No denial there. Only knowing. This story doesn't close with a shot or a grave. It lingers. Because in every valley, every dust-choked town, there's always a banker counting coins. Always a man forced to stand against him. If you're still here listening, hear this plain. When hoof beats thunder down your road, when dust rises at your gate, who are you in this story? The ledger waits for the next hand to open it.